What is up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another video. Thank you so very much for tuning in. I just wanted to take a second and apologize that I haven't made a video in like 2 weeks. You guys know how it goes, just life stuff, it gets away from you. But today I've got a pretty cool video to make. We're going to be diagging our first customer truck off of the YouTube channel. I think that is probably the coolest thing that's probably happened to me. So we're gonna jump into it. Another shop just got done studding it, doing injectors. Apparently the truck got the works and it's already got problems, and the gentleman has drove it all the way from Florida up to the shop here and has left it with us for us to tackle. So today we're gonna get it pulled out from where it's at, give it a quick diag so we know what to tell him's going on, and I figured why not make a cool video on it. So let's go get her pulled out and let's jump on it. Also just wanted to show you guys what we've had going on as of lately in the shop. We have our engine here for the truck on 40s here, the one on the rack. I am in the works of making a separate video on assembly. I had a bunch of different people reach out to me on engine assembly and stuff like that. So I will have a video coming out very soon for that. As of right this second, I am just waiting on all of our powder coated parts to come back. So I need rocker boxes to get the head slapped back on. Other than that, we've just kind of been doing small work on the OBS over there. Gonna get our T4 kit ordered here very soon. I'm just up in the air on whether or not I want to do compounds or not. So still deciding that. And then we also have another immaculate OBS over here that we have got to work on. A couple different issues with that, but I'm gonna make a separate video on that truck. I'd say what's wrong with it is probably those horrible Chevrolet mirrors that they've put on that thing. So in case you're wondering, I am not a fan of that. But other than that, nothing really else been going on. As you can see, we have officially begun spring here in Tennessee. And if you know anything about these god-forsaken Bradford pears, they smell like death. So, it's not great smelling over here at the shop. So hopefully these nasty flowers will fall off and they'll just bloom and we'll be done with that. But there is our truck from Florida. Beautiful, the orange and black Harley Davidson trucks. This was just an early model Harley Davidson truck thing. So 03 and 04.5 trucks only had this color scheme. But let's get her pulled out and let's check it out. So like I said, guys, customer complains of missing when firing up and missing on deceleration. So we are going to check injectors. It's supposed to have brand new Ford injectors put in it. I think he said that this all was done 2 months ago, something like that. So zero reason for Ford injectors to be bad in 2 months. And I've installed a ton of those. They don't just go bad out of the box. So we're gonna verify electrical side here. So we're gonna go through, go to engine here, go to some functional tests. First thing I'm gonna do is run the electrical self-test and verify the electrical side of our injectors are good before we run a power balance. Oh yeah, that's not good. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and no click from 8, but it clicked previously. So we may have a FICM issue here that we might be chasing. We got no codes there. Let's go back out of here. And then we'll go ahead and fire it up. Oh yeah. Let's run a power balance on it. Oh, sweet Jesus. All right. Yeah, so cylinder 8 is just completely gone. So when doing this, we also want to verify that we don't have a compression issue. I don't believe that we do, but let's check blow by on this thing. No. Just want to always verify that. All right, so we know we have we're losing cylinder 1 as well. There we go. Yep. So that right there is classic stiction issues right there. So what we're seeing there is that now if you look at our yellow line, as the truck's warming up, all of our injectors are coming back, and now our idle is nice and smooth. So that right there is classic bad injectors. So I don't think that this truck had injectors put in it. Just my opinion, but we're going to find out. So we'll back out of that. And then our next complaint is he has rigged up a pressure gauge in here because he is complaining of the truck puking and using coolant and building excess pressure. So he has rigged himself up a nice line here. So if you are curious, if you have head gasket issues on your 6-liter, you can just run you a hose into the cab there, and then what we'll do is we'll go out and we'll do a wide open throttle run, and we'll see what type of pressure it builds up. It should never go over 10 psi, especially on a stock truck. So we already have a head gasket issue, and it just got studded. Let's see if we can't see down in there. Probably not. But was supposed to have ARPs put in it. They put exotic head studs in it. Not a fan of those. I like to do it the way it's always been done, tried and true. But let's go ahead and get in the truck here, let it get warmed up here, and we're gonna go do a pull in it and see how much pressure we're building and see if we have a compromised head gasket. So looking at our codes here, we also have, let's see if I can get down here so y'all can see. We also have a cylinder 3 contribution fault. Don't worry about that. And an ICP 2 low code. That's a problem right there. This is a 04 truck, so it does have a barrel pump in it, which is very common to go bad. So I'm wondering if maybe we have a weak pump. But we're gonna data log it while we go do our run here on our head gasket test and see how low it is and see if we get an ICP code again. All right guys, so we are in this fine truck here, and as you can see, our gauge there is at 0 psi. I just let the pressure off the Digas bottle. I did verify the truck has a brand new Digas bottle, as well as a brand new cap, as well as a brand new ficum and an injector harness. So we definitely have an injector stiction issue. You always want to rule out the ficum and the injector harness, because they're super common to go bad. But somebody has been chasing this issue, it seems, and it's just sitting here dropping that one cylinder as she tries to warm up here. But I've got my computer pulled up here, and we're going to data log ICP on a wide open throttle pull and see if our pump is getting weak. Desired and actual should match each other, as long as the truck is not tuned. If the truck is tuned, and what they'll do there is they like to fool the actual pressure, so you don't get too high codes. So what we're actually going to do is we're going to watch volts, and volts will correlate to pressure. You can find a actual screen that will show you the side-by-side comparison of volts to PSI. So you always, with a tuned truck, you always want to go off of ICP volts. Do not look at pressure, look at voltage, because that's going to tell us what the ICP sensor is actually seeing without the tune interfering with the actual pressure or desired pressure. So let's go do a pull here and see how bad this head gasket is. All right, guys, so we're coming up on the stretch I like to do my testing on, and just getting over here, we are already at 5 PSI down there, which definitely just cruising up here. It shouldn't already be that high. So here coming up, I'm going to do a wide open pull. I've got my scanner here watching all my data for my high pressure oil pump, and we're going to do a pull here. That's not good.
What do you think, Antonio?
Not good. All right, well, that definitely means that we have a head gasket issue for sure. That sucks. I really hate to tell this guy that, especially after spending the amount of money he just spent and already going to have to be doing the job again. So let's get back to the shop here, and we'll go over a couple more things, and then we're going to put together a list and give this guy a call. All right, guys, so we made it back here, and we're basically sitting right at the 16 PSI threshold for the cap. So the cap is venting all of our pressure. So just sitting down there right at, that's probably a little more than 16 pounds. But let's jump over to this here. Right there. We maxed IPR out. Pressure was close to 1,000 PSI, less than desired. But we're going to check voltage and see what almost 5 volts correlates to there. But let's see what else we got going on here. Just want to go down and verify Fickham voltage. Which is good. We never want to see that go below 45 volts. That means the Fickham is bad. We're just sitting here and you can just feel it missing right now. So definitely got injector issues, and definitely has a head gasket issue, which sucks. I hate to have to call this guy and tell him that. People that do this type of stuff and take these people's money and then turn around and do them like this, you guys are the reason that we get a bad name having shops. I don't own a shop anymore, so but I still see this come through, and I hate to tell people that they spent $10,000 on a stud job and injectors and stuff, and you get to do it all over again because the person that did it isn't a good person.
Means you have no skills and you're a loser.
But another thing on our head gasket issue there, on our coolant pressure, this truck does not have an EGR. So you definitely want to verify that you do not have an EGR problem first. So if your truck, you're diagging your truck and it does have an EGR cooler still on it, that could be a very likely cause for excess pressure like that. This truck does not, so unfortunately it is a head gasket issue. So we're gonna go over a couple different things with this gentleman. Definitely feels like we have some turbo issues going on as well. Could be an EBP sensor, could be the turbo starting to stick. Definitely feels very laggy, wanting to get off the line. Shouldn't be a thing. And VGT is getting stuck on the scanner. So we're gonna go over a couple different options for him and see what he wants to do, and then we'll go from there. All right, guys, so I verified our voltage, and our ICP voltage does match our desired pressure. So that's a good thing. That means that our high pressure system is okay. So now what I want to do, that we're throwing the ICP too low code, another thing that can cause that is fuel pressure. So what we want to do now is we're going to hook a gauge up to it and see what our fuel pressure reading is with the truck running. And that will kind of point us in our direction to go from here. Could also be the reason that we're having some injector issues, but we'll go from here. All right, guys, so we've got our fuel pressure rig all set up here. Right down here on your bowl. Let me grab my flashlight. Right down there. Right next to the fuel pressure regulator, you're going to have an H6 little Allen plug. Right there is where we test fuel pressure at. Just get your gauge all set up and everything like that. I can probably tell you we're kind of onto something here, because pulling that plug out, the bowl should drain, and we didn't get a single drop of fuel out of that bowl. So what I like to use here, just so I ain't got to take the cold side cack pipe off, I've just got these cool little flex extensions from Matco and an H6 Allen. Bumped it out there, and then just get you a 14mm wrench for your gauge, just whatever gauge you got. And then these are all quick disconnect fittings, so let's get that in there. If I can do it with one hand, I probably can't. Oh, I got it. Look at that. All right, so now what we're gonna do is we're gonna go turn our key on. Let's walk around here. Oh, reach in here. Holy shit. Well, guys, I believe I have found our issue. Our fuel pump on the rail is just absolutely screaming down there. And we have 80 PSI fuel pressure. So just to put that in perspective for you, we put our high horsepower trucks at 65. And this is a completely stock truck. So that is not a good thing. Well, guys, that's really all I've got for you today. I wish I had better news for this gentleman. We crawled under the truck there. I'll put a video in right here. And you can see that we are leaking fuel out between the head gasket and the actual cylinder head. It is not running down from anywhere. It is actually coming out right there on both sides. The actual plugs, you have some Allen heads in the very top right there for actual fuel ports. There's no fuel coming out from right there. We're just blowing bubbles right out between and just leaking gas and everything right out between the block surface and the head gasket. So they are really, really bad. So I've got a pretty good setup in mind for him. I don't really know which way he's going to go at this point, because, you know, we're talking a very heavy chunk of money at this point. But he likes to have fun with the truck. As far as I know, he wants to keep it. And we have put this setup on a lot of trucks. It's a 190/30s, a KC Stage 2, and an air dog, a regulator return, and basically all the supporting stuff, push rods, stuff like that. And we're obviously going to have to redo the head gasket job on it. It has exotic head studs in it. I guess he paid for ARPs and they didn't even put those in it. So we're going to have to fix that problem. So just a whole list of stuff going on with it. But the setup I have in mind puts you right at like the 600 horsepower range. 1,200 foot-pounds of torque is usually what you can expect. You can still tow with it as long as you're mindful of watching everything. And it's a really, really fun truck. So at this point, there's no reason not to jump up to this stuff because there's so many problems with the truck. So we'll see what he wants to do. We'll compare, that setup to the price on a set of stock stuff. But usually it's around the same ballpark, other than the air dog and the regular return. Usually the injectors and the turbo straight from Ford, they're really close to the same price. But we'll call him, see what he wants to do. I really just want to say thank you to him. I think it's awesome that he thought so highly of me to drive it all the way from Florida and drop it off with us in Tennessee. That's awesome. So thank you to him, and thank you to you guys for watching all the videos, liking everything. I never thought we'd have a customer truck here off of YouTube. So that's awesome, and we're going to get him taken care of one way or another. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys on the next video. Bye.